Hey guys, it is Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. Have a fun track for you today. We're going to learn how to play Motley Crue's Wild Side. So before I get into it, please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do. And ring that little notification bell so you'll know when I release a new video. And check out my Guitar Academy. It's the GL365 Academy at GuitarLessons365.com. You'll see the link for that in the description as well. Thousands of you have signed up for the Academy, and we have a great community over there with all my guitar courses. So hopefully you'll join us if you haven't already. And please check out my merchandise. I have a whole line of shirts that you can only get in my merchandise store. This is one of them. You'll see that link below as well. So let's jump into it. Now the tuning of this is in what's called D standard. Motley Crue did that a lot. D standard is not drop D. Doesn't mean you're just taking the low E string and tuning it down a whole step and everything else is standard. No, every string on the guitar needs to be tuned down a whole step. So that makes this low E become a D, and then we have a G, a C, F, A, and another D. So I'll have those notes in the description just in case I flew through them too quick or you don't know what D standard is. But as soon as you get in that, you'll be able to rock out with Motley Crue. All right, so then we have this intro here. Now, the song actually starts with a little bit of a bar dive. Not a bar dive, it's a bar dive, pre-bar dive. So you depress the bar and then go like that on the A string. So have the bar down and then pick it and then bring it up. And that's kind of what you're hearing at the beginning. Kind of sounds like one of those motorcycle effects. And then you got the main riff. All right, so what is going on with that? So this is a fast little riff. So it's a little bit tricky to play because of that. It's got that fast downstroke picking. So we're gonna start here with the open A string. Now, I'm gonna call it the A string, even though we just talked about it tuned down to a G, but I'm gonna refer to everything as if it's in standard tuning just to make it easy. So we have the open A. Then you can grab the D and the G string at the 5th fret. So you're gonna grab that double stop right there. So then you're gonna pick that again and slide it down 1 fret. Then you have 2 quick downstroke mutes. So the muted A string twice. And then back to those double stop at the 5th fret. So we have this so far. Slower. Then back to 2 muted A strings, just downstroke, muted downstrokes, and then back to the double stop there at the 5th fret on the D and the G. So far we had this. And then you go back to the muted A, and then pick those 5s again, and slide up to, I'm sorry, he hammers on to 7. So you're gonna hammer with your 3rd finger, the ring finger. You're gonna hammer onto those 2 7s on the D and the G, or you can use, if you want to separate them, you can also just hammer on with your ring and pinky. So we have this. So we're doing this quick 2 downstroke moves between each one. So we have this. I'm sorry, I just did a slide again. Like that. So wait. All right, so then we continue the riff starting over. But when you get to that first little, after that slide down and the first 2 muted A's, you're gonna jump up here. All right, so what this is actually a D sus chord. Obviously, it sounds like a C sus chord, but it's a D sus chord into just a D major. So we have this. It's the you're gonna bar across the 3rd fret on the B, G, and D string. But so as you do that, you're first gonna play the 8th fret on the B string. So we have those 3 together with the 8 on the B, 7 on the G and the D, and then lift up so just go to this all 7s to the D major chord. So we have this. Then we have this little fill. So this. Now that quick little fill is a little 5-note lick. Later on in the song, it becomes a 6-note lick, but we have, you're gonna pick the B string on that 7th fret, you already got in the bar, then the 7th fret there on the G, and then you're gonna do a pull off 8 to 7 on the B, back to that 7 on the G. So like this. So all together, the riff real slow. And then repeat. All right, so then we get to this little transition thing where he's just kind of, before the verse, it's just doing kind of like just alternate picking there on the open A string. And then we get to the verse, which looks like this, pretty simple stuff. All right, so you can see that little last fill, that's what I was talking about, it turns into a little 6-note lick. All right, so all I'm doing is just a bar at the 7th fret on the D and the G. And what I do first is I play the 9th fret on the G while doing that bar. So we have the 7th fret on the D here, and the 9th fret on the G, which are here. And then I'm gonna pick up that pinky, or you can do it with your ring finger, to just the 2 7s there on the D and the G. So you do that a few times, or twice. And then just move it down 2 frets. And then back up. So that's the one time through. So now you start over. And then the last time, just hold that chord and then go into that little fill. Now that little fill is, we did it before, well, we just started on the 7th fret on the B string. But now, and then the second time through, we just did that pull off, just 8 to 7 on the B, to 7 on the G. Well, when you do it at the end of the verse, you're gonna basically do that pull off 8 to 7, and then 7 on the G. You're gonna do that full lick, that 3-note lick twice. All right, so with this. And then that goes back from there just straight to the chorus. All right, so now when you go through the song, it's the same thing, that little transition, little A when they're just kind of doing the alternate picking on the A, and then we got the same verse, then the same chorus, except at the very end, like the second chorus, you're gonna extend that, go. So that's just basically doing that little ending of the chorus twice. It's at the end of the second chorus. Just do that same little thing twice. And then take that, what's a D chord there, and move it down to a C. All right, and then we get to the bridge section from there. And you know, at the end, I just kind of hang out and just they don't do the A string in between it. So what is that going on there? It's pretty simple. We just had this double stop here. You can just do it with one finger. The 5th fret on the D and the G again, up to the 7. And then you just have that little dun 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 on the A string. And then go back 7 to 5 using the double stops. and then 5 to 2, and then 5 2 again. Now repeat, 5 7 7 1. And then at the end, that kind of thing. It's pretty simple stuff there. All right, so after the bridge, well, we basically, everything, just not really anything new until we get to towards the end. There's the main riff at the chorus riff at the end of the song. They kind of, instead of going to that, it just kind of repeats the first half of it a few times. So that's just that first half. You hear it just later in the song. You basically, right before you go into the outro section, which is just the bridge that we just did. It's basically the same thing. We have, so you just repeat that. And then during the fourth time through, then you go up to that little sus4 thing, into the major, you do it twice. And then down to the C. And then it takes you to the bridge section, and then you just keep repeating that same to the end of the track. All right, so it just does that for the rest of the song. So pretty easy song, no solos, but some really cool riffs, but it is kind of tricky to get the speed of that main riff down, so hopefully that'll be a good workout for you. All right, I'll see you guys again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.